It's been a while since we've won a run with Awoken, so why don't we try, let's see, Awoken Allied. Yeah, so it's Slay the Spire Tower Defense on a Train is the absolute elevatorist pitch for this game.
It's great.
Yeah, it's cool. So you have 5 different clans that you can choose from, and you get to choose like a primary and a secondary, so sort of like a splash color, which I like relative to Slay the Spire because it lets you like have I don't know, sort of 10 different initial ways of playing. Love you, Les.
Love you.
As opposed to Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire has, what, 4 classes now? Yeah, so it's like those, but all the time, but also the game is sort of balanced for them. Like, my problem with 2-class dailies is always that, like, there are just a bunch of cards that you just aren't supposed to ever play because they're too synergy locked with one class or the other and you can't get a critical mass. And this game is balanced to make that work. So there are definitely cards you're supposed to pass because, again, they're too synergy locked. But a lot of the time, you end up playing them... a lot of the time you end up playing, like, real interesting cards. Alright. And, you know, it's a deck builder. There are seeded strategies in each class that you can do. But, you know, a lot of interesting things. So, alright. So the way the deck works is you start out with a set of basic cards, similarly to Slay the Spire. And some of those cards are consistent no matter which clan you choose, and some of them are clan-specific. And some of the clan-specific cards are random from all of the common and uncommon cards. So you get 2 common cards from each of your clans, and 1 uncommon card from your main clan to start out with. So this is a pretty good starting deck. Glimmer is nice. It lets you... Something that deals damage to everything is nice because the way combat works, the enemy will often hide weak utility units or sort of glass cannons behind tanks. And so this lets you get rid of those without having to kill the tanks first. Direct damage is kind of the same. This is a good direct damage spell because it also gives Frostbite, which you can build up on like a boss to do a lot of damage. Yeah, Frostbite is exactly Slay the Spire poison. And Frostbite is a big part of how we killed the boss in the last run. I've actually never... Well, I say I've never played with this card before. It has a gold frame, so maybe that's a lie? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't remember playing with this. But I'm eager to see it. I mean, drawing +1 each turn is incredible, so just put this behind a tank or something. What is my artifact? You start with an artifact, which are exactly Slay the Spire relics. Totem Fragment is good if we were more main Umbra, but Awoken doesn't have a lot of direct damage, and that is what Spell Weakness is good against. I mean, I love Snecko Eye runs in Slay the Spire. I haven't taken Volatile Gauge before, but, like, I'm absolutely taking it now and just taking all of the expensive shit I can find. Yeah. Let's see. So one of Awoken's synergies is healing. So Rejuvenate is just, this triggers whenever it's healed. It sounds kind of interesting, but I kind of like this. Spikes is, what do they call it in Slay the Spire? I don't remember. When you get attacked, it deals that much damage back. So this is just making it a really good tank, which most of the time you're champion is DPS, so I kind of like the idea of having it be a tank, just for variation. Yeah, thorns. Thank you. Yeah, Spikes 3 is actually kind of good for us because we're using Spikes doesn't trigger when the damage is dealt by Spikes, obviously, because that would go infinite. So if we're killing a lot of the enemy units with our own Spikes, then it doesn't matter that they have Spikes. Or with direct damage. Okay. So what have we got? So put that in front, probably. Probably just gonna put Wildwood Custodian. No, I might as well put it here. Behind the biggest tank I'll ever be able to muster. See, all of my Frozen Lances cost 0. That's nice. So the way combat works in this game, it's floor by floor. So the enemy attacks first. They attack from the inside out. So the Forged Disciple attacks first. Then Trusted Priest would attack if it had damage, but instead it's a healer, so it doesn't. After the enemy attacks your frontmost living unit. After the enemy attacks, your units attack, again, front to back. And you attack the enemy's frontmost living unit. So you put tanks in front, and they guard the stuff in the back. The floors work by having enemies, but not your units, move up them as they finish rounds. So the first round, the enemy attacks, you attack, any living enemies move up to the next floor. Enemies attack on this floor, you attack on this floor, any living enemies move up to this floor, until you finally get to the pyre room. You can't place units in the pyre room. Enemies will directly attack your pyre, which is health that's persistent across battles. It's basically the only thing that persists across battles. And your pyre attacks them back until either the enemy or your pyre is dead. This doesn't follow the normal turn structure. So this is a pretty good hand. We can Glimmer, Flash Freeze, and play 2 Train Stewards, which is honestly more than we would be able to do without the mana rejiggering. So I want to play 1 Train Steward up here because this little angel guy gives me gold when he dies, so it's really good. That's one of the few things that happens in battles that persists outside. I probably want to Glimmer and Flash Freeze to get rid of the 2 Trusted Priests, I think. I mean, I certainly want to Glimmer on this floor, which gets rid of the Trusted Priest and heals the damage that has been dealt so far. I could also just Flash Freeze the Forged Disciple. Is that better? I mean, it takes 11 total, which definitely counteracts the 5 it would heal. Yeah, that's probably better. And it'll take another 7 next turn from the Frostbite. So I'll just put a room up here that will, if I get good luck with spells next turn, kill Forged Disciple. Brief Respite means boss next turn. Alright. So what's cheap? Restore, that's good. Train Steward. Glimmer costs 1. Can I... Okay, so I can't just kill this. Unlike Poison in Slay the Spire, Yes, there are spells that let you move units. They're hard to use effectively, but very powerful. Probably putting a trained steward here. Probably restoring this one. And then I can cast exactly one more spell, or Frozen Lance plus Glimmer. It's probably better to just Flash Freeze this. Make it take a bunch of damage. So that's gonna fight my Pyre. Dealt a little bit of damage because it had thorns, but doesn't matter. So now we do the boss fight. Bosses work a little bit differently than normal units. They work sort of similarly to the Pyre in the sense that they do damage until until one side or the other is dead. So they just keep on attacking and attacking and attacking. So the question here is, I'm definitely flash freezing the boss once. Oh, and that's enough to just kill him, so neat. The other really nice thing about this game is it tells you what the result of combat is going to be, because otherwise the math would just be way too hard to do manually. So little X means that the unit is dying. The minus means that's how much damage it's taking. Yeah, it would be absolutely unplayable without that. Alright, so yeah, boss is slowly dying to frostbite, and we got it. I turned on extra difficulty at the beginning of this battle because I thought I could take it, and I was right. That's why I get these extra 75 coins. And then you get card drafts for each of your classes after a battle. So what do we want here? What are we building towards? I guess because we have because we have volatile gauge, we want expensive stuff mostly. So probably sharpen. This is also really good for our main unit because it's sort of being tanky and spicy. Yeah, Titan's Tooth is good. Normally I don't love this because you need to have discard synergy for it to be great, but given that our cards have random costs, 5 damage to everything and Frostbite 10 is very strong. And we have existing Frostbite synergy, so that's awesome. If we can pick up a couple more Frostbite cards too, that would be ideal. I almost always like taking a unit for the first option. So between battles, you get events. Events are way more frequent than Slay the Spire, because battles are correspondingly harder and more in-depth. Yeah, I can also do a mixture of the two. They sort of work well together because Spikes is pretty tanky, and Frostbite works best when it has a lot of time to do its thing. The one downside is that the boss has an ability that halves all buffs and debuffs that are good for you. So that will probably affect Frostbite. I don't know if it affects Frostbite on the boss, though, which is a relevant distinction. Yeah, so I want to get a unit more than I want to improve my spells or get extra cash. Especially because I just got cash from the trial. Okay. Neither of these are amazing here. Icy Silophyte is good often, but in this deck I really want a sweeper that gives Frostbite, which is the, what's it called? The one I had last time. Nameless Siren is just pretty good. It's a pretty decent DPS card. It's not amazing, I think, but... you start with your champion in hand. Your champion is like a unique unit that you only get by selecting your clan, and it always costs 0 and it always starts in your hand. Other units you have to draw naturally. So you want a good mix of units and spells mostly. Ooh, Frenzy Stone is incredibly strong. And I will also give it Strength Stone, which combos with Frenzy Stone. Frenzy Stone is basically double strike. Except it doesn't attack first, so it's just double strike, but both at the normal time. Anyway, it's obviously great if you do it with extra power. Yeah, I guess giving this a butt doesn't hurt. I usually like... Oh, actually, do I want to purge something? I probably do. I haven't been spending much money on purging, but that's honestly probably wrong. Purging's pretty good. I like Restore's okay, because my champion just takes a lot of damage. So probably... Oh, I generally don't like Frozen Lance very much, because you can't direct it, so it's sort of a limited utility. I'll get rid of a Frozen Lance before I'll get rid of a Train Steward, I think. Alright, let's battle. I'm pretty happy with where this deck is so far. Okay, Armor 10, but we get a unit draft, huh? No, I don't like armor for this battle. This guy is just so strong early on. And this helps it get to the pyre while it's still strong. And, I mean, Armor 10 does die to a single Frostbite damage thing. So there's that. Getting another unit would be pretty good. Cowards can't block warriors. Worst case, we just let things go to the pyre and it's not the end of the world. Like, honestly, I think we don't even put anything here. So haste means that they skip the second floor. But because these guys lose, they have rage. Most of their power is coming from rage. So they lose an attack each turn. So by the time they make it to the pyre room, they'll just be 1/1s. So if we just let them get to the pyre room, they're only dealing 5 damage, which is kind of irrelevant at this point. So I think we actually set up on floor 2 here. I mean, we'll have to get something that can deal with Conduit Infiltrator at some point, but I just don't think it's a super high priority. We could put a Train Steward up here, but it's just going to take a bunch of damage next turn. I don't think that's good. I think we just reshuffle it. Yeah, okay. Now I wouldn't mind moving these guys to the second floor, which I easily can, so. You know what? I might just Glimmer these away so I don't have to take any pyre damage, and then flash freeze the thing that gives haste to force these guys onto the second floor. Glimmer is... Oh, right, they all have armor. Shit. Forgot about that part. Yeah, get that cash money. But this is just not very much pyre damage. They just die immediately. I'm not too worried about it. These two are dying. We're taking some damage, but we can fix that a bit with judicious use of spells. I don't really want to pay 3 for this, I think. I think I'd rather just play some spells and save some health. Yeah, okay. Why is this taking 6 this turn? This dies to Frostbite immediately, right? Oh, because Frostbite happens after the thing. Right. Annoying. That's fine. Okay, so this is the boss, to whom nothing is happening right now. But currently, the boss will skip straight over my damage room into here, and that will be bad for me. But luckily, I can glimmer to... Oh, shit. Nope, that doesn't work because of the armor. I fucked myself. Cool. Cool. Plan B. We are building out a backup damage room in the top floor, and regretting all our words and deeds. Feeling really, really stupid right now. I mean, it's fine. These early bosses are not... Yeah, Frostbite doesn't ignore armor, unlike Slay the Spire Poison. So, I'm just terribly stupid. Cool, so do that. Sharpen yet further, and flash freeze this to reduce the amount of damage I'm taking. Does that even do anything useful? Not super. I guess I flash freeze the boss, actually. Oh, right, because that guy's just dying to thorns immediately anyway. Alright. I mean, my Pyre is going to do fairly quick work of this guy, because he only does 4 a turn, and he's taking extra frostbite damage, but this is a lot of damage I didn't necessarily need to take, and I feel dumb. Playing on hard mode, as I like to say. That said, we did get an extra unit out of the deal. Alright. Again, I like taking expensive stuff, given where we are. Yeah, I'll take a Crystallis. I don't think we want too many of these, but... Okay, Cold Kalia is exactly what we're looking for. This is perfect. I mean, ideally, we would have units that cost a bunch, but there aren't many units that cost more than 1. Oh boy, I do want to buff my units, but I also really want to heal my Pyre. Shit. I guess I don't have that much cash right now. Man, it's gonna be a while before we can really do a bunch of unit buffs, though. We have no buffed units right now, is that right? No, Nameless Siren is buffed, that's right. Yeah, I think we have to go this way. It sucks, but... Sure. We aren't planning on playing Stings. Sting is a card that costs 0 and does 5 damage and draws a card at the next turn, beginning of the next turn, slow cantrips, which would be great if we didn't have Volatile Gauge going. But the big thing about Sting is that it costs 0, so... Oh, this thing. This is fun. Yeah, we definitely want one of these. We probably want a spell Rail Spike to put on a Frozen Lance, because I hate these. Especially with Helical Crystallis in the deck, it's just like a vastly worse version of the same card. Alright, let's go. We're starting to get into the, like, difficult-ish fights. This one's usually not too bad, but... Constructed explosives enter with damage shield. So this boss's gimmick is that he makes bombs on random floors each turn. And now they have damage shield, which means that the first instance of damage that's dealt to them isn't instead, which is pretty bad for us because dealing damage lets you disarm them before they explode and deal 2 damage to you. Alright, yeah, so this is sort of our de facto DPS room right now. I don't know what to do with these sharpens, actually. That's an interesting question. Putting them on Cold Kalia is good because as a sweeper, she hits everything, but putting more thorns on the Sentient is also good because it is the thing that's actually going to be taking the most damage. I think it's probably on this that we want to do it. We could also Helical Crystallis, just kill Forge Disciple, I guess. But that's a little bit less of a long-term play. I'd rather set up better for the future here than for the present, I think. Like, sorry, one sec. More work questions. Ooh, Titan's Tooth. What a strong one. Unfortunately, pretty expensive draw this time. Boy. Yeah, I would love to kill this Constructed Explosive, but unfortunately I cannot here. But getting Frostbite on the boss is really good. So I'll just have to settle for that, I suppose. Yeah, I'm gonna put Nameless Siren here, because she's very, very strong. Even though restoring the Siren would give her a bit of rage, I'm gonna do it on my champion. Purge, yeah, that's exactly right. I wish I had a bigger heal spell. This, class does have some of those. I just don't currently myself. Probably just gonna put a bunch of Frostbite on the boss, honestly. Can Glimmer on this floor. Don't really want to take advantage of the incant here, because this guy also has incant. Unless I'm killing him, which I might just do with a Frozen Lance, actually. Let's see, how much... Let's spend my free spells first, so my hand gets a little less cluttered. Haha, eat it. Yeah, and I'm almost certainly playing a Trained Steward here. Yeah. I'm playing it in front so that it can absorb some damage while this pumps out a huge amount of DPS. At some point, I do need to find a proper tank to sit in front of the Nameless Siren. It's one of the things I'm looking for in my future card rewards. And then I'm just going to cast as many spells as I can on this floor to give her a bit of extra rage, I think. Although, no, it's probably more important to heal this in particular. But I will kill that guy. one important thing about this game is that if enemies are on a floor where you don't have any units, they just don't do anything. They're irrelevant. Which you can play towards a lot of the time. Oh boy, that bomb on that floor, pretty awkward. Let's see. This is a cheap hand, which is nice. Don't want to play too many spells here because they pump this guy, but I will play a Glimmer because I want the heal and I want the 4-power Archer guy gone. I don't have enough direct damage to kill the constructed explosives, but that's okay. It's just a train steward dying. This guy's kind of cannon fodder anyway. Yeah, I think I just want to spend all my spells here, so I will give her damage and spikes. The spikes doesn't matter that much, but the extra damage is very strong because she has multi-strike. I will give the boss more frostbite. You know what? It's worth it to restore down here, though. And I'll put a train steward on the top floor for good measure. That might just get killed by a bomb, but I don't think it's likely that I'm redrawing the train steward before the boss goes active, so. He will always enter on the first floor, but he flies around before that, just causing trouble. Okay. So these guys just die, and the Siren takes minimal damage, which is nice. I don't have a meat shield to put in front of it yet, but that's okay. Honestly, I'm probably just playing Titan's Tooth on this floor and finishing everything out with 0 mana spells, because I have so many 0 mana spells right now. I can even get rid of the bomb, because Glimmer costs 0. And then sharpen the champion just to get more spikes going, and more frostbite. More frostbite. Always more frostbite. Could use some heal up there too, I suppose. Okay, now the boss is real. And he's dying. Sometimes I just like to stunt on him a bit, though. See how little damage I can get him to do to my units before he dies. So far, not really changing the math, though, which is disappointing. Well, oh well. Yeah, well, he's gonna die. It doesn't matter what I play on other floors. No, so you get a score benefit for the floor that you kill the boss on. But otherwise, no. And score doesn't affect anything in-game. It's just, you know, compare with your friends kind of thing. Oh, spreading spores is really interesting, actually. Hoarfrost Effigy is kind of cool, too. But, I actually really like spreading spores because it gets cheapened by my artifact, and like it's just a really good thing to jam on my main guy. If I can upgrade this somehow too, that would be pretty sick. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I've never seen this before. That's really cool. If you were doing like the Sting synergy, if you got the artifact that gave you, that powered up your Sting, then like at the end of every turn, she gives you a Sting, and the Sting is really powerful, and it draws you extra cards, and so on and so on. Very cool. But we can't take her here because Sting is not good. We don't really need more DPS, so I guess it's probably Offering Monument? Yeah. think card draw is great, so. Let's see. We probably want this, given that our mana is so haywire to begin with. Having a little bit extra to play with is good. I still do want another unit, although at the same time I want to get rid of useless cards and heal my Pyre, so I'm definitely going right here. This duplicates a card also, so that's sort of like getting other units. The one awkward thing is that if I'd gone this direction, this thing lets me add abilities to spells, and I could have added some abilities to the spell that duplicates itself, but there aren't that many abilities that are good for it anyway, given that I can't reduce its cost meaningfully. Alright, definitely want to get rid of our remaining Frozen Lance and one of our Train Stewards is just not very good. Just a very basic thing. Yeah, I think we just get another one of our DPS unit. It is nice that this only costs 1 pip. Oh, I didn't explain pips. That's super relevant. I'll explain them when we get into the next room. They do get duplicated with buffs. Yeah. So that's kind of where the really, really broken decks come from, is you find like some card that you can give abilities to that are just really, really broken with its base abilities, and then you duplicate it. So yeah, Liz and I once had a game where we had 2 0-cost spells that did 90 damage and put themselves back on top of our library when we cast them. We won that round. If I can avoid playing the spell... Actually, let me see what the map is. Okay, so there's not a way to upgrade a spell for another couple battles, so it probably doesn't matter. Heaven's Seal is the absolute hardest trial, I think, so I will not be enabling it. Right, pips. So one thing... Yeah, it's horrible. I've tried it a couple times, and I always wipe to it. I don't think I've ever even won a battle with it. Even with, like, a bunch of pyre damage or whatever. So, one thing to notice is that there is a capacity on each floor. And each unit has a number of little pips above it that indicate how much of that capacity it takes up. So, most units take up 2. A couple small units take up 1, like this. And a couple big units take up more than that. 3 or even 4. One champion can upgrade to take up 5, which is ridiculous. So you have to like be economical with that, and you can get things that let you upgrade it and so on. All right. Do her. Oh man, I kind of want to put Cold Kalia on the first floor. I think that's generally pretty good to get like the sweep out early to deal with small annoying things, but I don't want to spend 3 mana for it, is the main thing. Oh, I do have 4 mana this turn though. In that case, yeah, it's probably worth it. And then I can Nameless Siren on floor 2. I would love to put an Offering Monument in front of her, but I don't really have the time. And I will put a Wildwood Custodian too. And I can just put a Train Steward up here as well. That's fine. Train Stewards are kind of cannon fodder. They're like... Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure. I guess I've never checked, but probably. Oh, right, we have 2 Nameless Sirens now. I forgot. That's sick. So... I guess... No, I can't Glimmer to get rid of this Collector, so I'll probably have to Flash Freeze it. Ooh, I could Titan's Tooth. I guess that actually doesn't do much better than Flash Freeze. Titan's Tooth down here would probably be better. So yeah, I'll Flash Freeze the Cherub. Make sure I play a Nameless Siren up here before I forget. Which means I don't have Titan's Tooth active, but that's okay. And I'm just going to play some random spells here to... I'm going to play that random spell to give Nameless Siren a little more rage. I could start regenerating the Sentient. Is that good? Yeah, probably. Probably better than Rage upstairs. Multi-strike is so powerful in this game. Okay. Cool. Cool. A lot of zero cost stuff this time, which is great. I'm going to put an Offering Monument in the very front and a Train Steward as well. Let's see. Probably also want a Train Steward up here. Do I want to increase spikes here or increase the DPS from the Nameless Siren? Probably the latter, I think. Especially because it draws me cards and boosts her rage as well. So, yeah, it looks like it is resetting the cost each time separately. All right. Ooh, zero cost Helical Crystallis is pretty good. That'll just let me basically get rid of this first jerk. I could also Titan's Tooth. Is that good? I guess it does kill this eventually. The problem is that this loses max health, not just health. So, I can't even heal it back up, which I guess is probably the point, if you look at it that way. Could also Titan's Tooth here, which does just kill both of these. That's probably pretty good. And then there's really just no way to get rid of this Clipped Defender, so I probably shouldn't even try. Still a little hesitant to start spewing this off. I feel like in the last battle, I'll want like 4 of these in my starting deck, maybe. So, and then I want that to continue going up, of course, but I think I don't necessarily want to start using them this early if I can avoid it. So I'm going to restore here. And well, I guess yeah, I'll sharpen this one this time. And then I can Glimmer on this floor. Yeah, I just don't necessarily want to make this go down. I do actually kind of want it as a tank. I might have to rethink whether I consider that a tank or not. It seems like it is genuinely taking a lot of damage just from card draw, which is not what I was hoping for. I don't like that this just one-shots the Train Steward, but I don't think there's anything I can really do about that. Oh, actually, I can Helical Crystallis it. That's actually pretty good, huh? Or even for less mana, I can Flash Freeze plus Titan's Tooth. Oh, nope, that doesn't. Oh, I can Flash Freeze plus Titan's Tooth plus Glimmer, which is just fine. Just fine. Buff that. Regenerate my champion tank. And prep for the boss. I always love it when one of their remaining units is just like a 0 power thing. Just doesn't mean anything at all. Okay. Boss is taking 246, which is good. I bet we can make it better, though. Let's start by flash freezing. 326. Cool 80 points of increase. It suggests that every amount of additional frostbite we put on it will be very strong. So probably we're just Titan's Toothing. Yeah, push it up to 430. Restore here. And Glimmer to add Rage on the off chance he gets to the top floor, which I think is pretty unlikely. I think it's consistent, but as I have not memorized it, and there's not an obvious countdown clock other than the fact that you always get a brief respite exactly the turn before the boss. Giving our draw a card every turn guy a lot of toughness is actually proving pretty effective. It's a more effective tank than the draw a card when you cast a spell guy, that's for sure. Okay, so he dies very immediately. See if I can help that along a little bit. Yeah, cool. Bonk. I mean, focused growth is very, very good. So I'm going to take it. James, this is your answer for, like, spells that move things around. This is one example of that. Okay. Yeah, I love things that cost 3. Yeah, it's like you can. Offering is madness. It's madness 0. The thing about moving down a floor is that you can get around pip restrictions that way. So you can move a unit down a floor and end up with a floor that has way more units than its pips would normally allow, up to 7 units on a floor. And that can be pretty strong. Oh boy, I don't know which direction I want to go here. We could duplicate to get another Nameless Siren, but honestly, we probably don't want that. We probably want to just put more points in tankiness, which means going to a Merchant of Steel. So this is a random event. Don't know what this is going to be. Oh, this is a good thing. I like this. The locket is cute. How much stuff do we have that gets good with that? Oh, it's actually a fair amount of stuff. Oh man, restores do get great. Boy, I'm kind of tempted. The problem is so, yeah. Well, it's not the worst time to be drunk, I guess. So I'm considering taking the locket. -1 pip on every floor brings me to 4 by default, which means I can play 2 creatures, but I can't play one of the Wildwood Custodian or Offering Monument on the same floor, which is kind of awkward. The alternatives are increasing pips, which is not super useful for me right now either. So I guess I take it and probably just plan to get those pips back later. Because I do have a lot of spells where magic power is good. Like, magic power affects either healing or direct damage. So, like, Glimmer now would deal 17 and heal 17. Restore would heal 17, but still apply regen 1. Helical Crystals would deal 40 twice. So, yeah, it's probably the locket. And I can just put my weird dudes either on the same floor, both in front of one siren, or... Oh, wait, Large Stone is actually pretty interesting. Yeah, I guess I don't actually want that, huh? Heartstone is definitely good, though. Could just put it on Wildwood Custodian, make it an even better tank. Put it on Offering Monument. Make it draw me more cards. Probably do that. Oh, no, I'm going to put it on Wildwood Custodian just because, like, having it as a tank that also gives card advantage is pretty sweet. I mean, they both give card advantage, but this one gives card advantage without hurting itself. I'm going to put Battlestone on Cold Kalia because extra damage on sweep is good. And I'm going to reroll. Hope I can get... Ooh, Frenzy Stone is good. I like Frenzy Stone on Cold Kalia as well, because this applies Frostbite twice, which is excellent. Heartstone on Offering Monument and Thornstone. Again, make it just a pretty good tank. I don't think I have anything left I'm, like, dying to purge. I don't know. Yeah, although there are artifacts that bring it up to 3, which can be... Like, if you can get a 3 upgrade card and then duplicate it, you're living large. I guess getting rid of a Train Steward wouldn't be the worst. Especially because I'm low on pips now. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, Pog indeed, champ. Alright. Okay, and this is not the Seraph that kills my spells, which is nice. That would be difficult for this deck to deal with. Mark of Invasion I actually think is one of the easiest things to deal with. So I will turn that on. Basically, the easiest way to deal with units appearing on every floor at the beginning is just ignore the units outside of the top floor and take some pyre damage and suck it up. Although in this case, it's a little bit awkward because Ooh, Sap makes it a lot less awkward. Just all of these guys on every fucking floor. And my Cold Kalia is nowhere to be found. These things are really weak to sweep because their triggered ability does nothing. That's fine. Oh, actually, they're also really weak to spikes. I should remember, I suppose. So I'll put Offering Monument and Nameless Siren on the top floor, and I guess I'll put a Wildwood Custodian here, too. And I can sap. That's probably good. Which will prevent them from doing a lot of damage next turn when they get here. Although I guess that means they won't attack, which is kind of awkward because of the spikes, so... Maybe that was not the right place to put that. Oh, right. If I play Restore here, I just draw a card immediately. Yeah. Yeah, so Sap is like... Sap X means it gets -X, -O, and it goes down 1 every turn. Oh, I see. It's actually not that great against thorns because they power up periodically over time. That's annoying. Cold Kalia costs 3. Vicious. I mean, I still gotta do it, right? I'll wait on the Nameless Siren, it's fine. I will... Oh, right, she's not quick, so it's actually not especially better to do this. What I was supposed to do was Glimmer on this floor. Oof. Well, I have some good heal spells. I will get them eventually. Oh, right, all my heal spells are incredible because they restore 17 health. Oh my god. Kind of forgot about that. Alright, I'm just gonna vastly overkill this cherub. I have so many mixed feelings about what to sharpen because it does more damage in one sense on a Nameless Siren and more damage in another sense on my champion, but I think champion's probably better because more things are just going to encounter it. Owie. Blam. Okay. Well, focus growth is exactly what I'm looking for here. Glimmer would be good too, I guess. And in fact it will, because I'm going to do it. Let's see. I don't actually have any units in my hand, which is kind of funny. I can try to find one by using that. Well, that costs way too much. Okay, okay, that's something. Flash freeze you. And yeah, you have a little bit more control over which direction things go. I would say my absolute most nuts Slay the Spire decks are substantially more nuts than I can imagine building a deck in this game, although it's possible that's a failure of imagination more than anything. Because, like, Slay the Spire really lets you do, like, absolute, like, total bullshit storm nonsense. Which this game kind of doesn't, as far as I can tell. This game's kind of a little bit more grounded in how much it lets you do. Yeah. Yeah, can't deny that, really. I mean, I've also played a lot fewer games of this than I have of Slay the Spire, so it's entirely possible. Oh, I can just kill this with a Flash Freeze right out. That's kind of sick. It's possible that, like, there are those decks in this game, and I just haven't seen them yet because I've played relatively little of this game. Loving it. Da-da-da-da-da. No worries. Oh, boy. Yeah, this deck seems pretty great. I feel like that plus magic power thing was pretty good. Alright, let's see. really know where to put this train guardian, so I will give you more regen. I still don't think I want to start playing spreading spores yet, if I can avoid it. Really doesn't matter what these two... I guess technically it does have some amount of health at some point, so I should try to kill it. Or some amount of attack at some point, I should say. Like, I sapped it, so if I can just get it dead, I should. Alright. Maxed out my hand size. Love that. Okay, well, starting out with a Guardian's Amulet here seems bonkers powerful. Let's see what we can do. Glimmer is not terrible either. Yeah, taking 642 damage right now. Hey! We're doing alright. We're doing okay by ourselves. The other really relevant thing about boss fights is you don't get to draw hands in between attacks. Just attacks happen as they happen. So, like, unfortunately I won't get to cast spells here for a while, but the boss is going down to, like, 100 health or whatever, so. Oh, yeah, that's really important. That's definitely more important than this. Hard to argue that anything is more important than a kitten. Alright. Wow, it's not actually dying to this floor. Probably because I don't have a good tank. Let's see what happens when I juice the frostbite a little bit. Still not dead, technically, but it will just die to this, so. Bam! Yeah. That went well, I would say. Took a little bit of pyre damage, but whatever. Oh man, we could have had such a sweet Sting deck if we'd chosen a different initial relic. Ooh, this is kind of cool. 10x the amounts of spikes on friendly units, and my main boss just spawns with 20 spikes. I kind of feel like doing 200 damage to the front unit plus 15 is okay. Yeah? We agreed? Cool. Ooh. Cuddle Hex is good, I think. But I feel like my deck is getting kind of crowded, and the thing I'm really lacking is tank, and I really shouldn't take things that don't help with that. Yeah. Yeah. The one that's like, draw a random unit, give it +10/+10. Yeah, that one owns. I think we do want Merchant of Steel. I also think that Pyre Remains is pretty good for us right now, so. There we go. Back up to full health. Spooky. After every major boss, which are the bosses that like fly around outside the train while you're fighting their dudes. Interesting. This is so cute. That's kind of interesting. We already have one deadweight in our deck, so kind of relevant. I guess the other thing to note is that the final boss does give you blights, just sort of to begin with. She like shuffles Vengeful Shards into your deck. So like that makes Ember Stasis a little bit better. Although it's not like we're hurting for ways to deal massive amounts of damage to the front unit. Yeah. Oh, it gives us 3 dead weight. I probably should have read that more closely. Let's see. So it gives our units +4/+0, but our deck gets more gummed up. God, I don't know. Yeah, 3 dead weight seems pretty rough. I feel like we just don't take anything here, which seems shitty, but also, like, in a weird way, giving attack to, like, Wildwood Custodian and stuff like that can be bad, because there's, like, the enemy might have spikes, and there are some enemies that just have random triggered abilities when they get dealt damage. That's rough. So I think we leave. I think we're looking for such specific things right now that we can't afford to mess around with that. Luckily, I have a lot of gold going into this merchant. Not another large stone. Come on, man. Oh, also all our guys have full slots. I hadn't thought about that. That's kind of rough. I probably should have gone the other direction, actually. It's not a mistake I've made before. Well, we can make one of our train stewards good, better, technically okay. Yeah. Don't want large stone at all. Yeah, we were supposed to go that direction, especially because that had the magic shop, which we want to do for our thing. That was just a huge punt. Spell Shield 5. Well, fuck. I mean, that's okay. We have enough DPS that we can push through that eventually, but it is going to be a little bit rough, especially on the first floor. Alright, Cold Kalia, come on. Nope. No such luck. Oh boy. This is super rough because when the Sycophants die, they give power to the Alabaster Guardian, which can then just sit there and keep attacking forever. But given that we have so much health regain, I think it's probably fine to just suck it up for now. I am setting up a floor 2 rather than actually getting any proper damage on floor 1 for now, just because I feel like that's what we need to do. Focused growth. Actually, we should focused growth up here. If we're really lucky, we might draw a unit that we can play. Yeah, there we go. Again, I'm putting this up here because that's where we ultimately want it, and because attacking down these Alabaster Guardians early is good before they start getting buffed by other units or whatever. And then I will restore here just to start the rage train going. Oh, I guess she loses the rage at end of turn, so maybe that was not necessary. Alright, really hoping to draw a Cold Kalia. This is kind of one of the reasons why I was nervous about adding a bunch of gunk to the deck, because drawing a Cold Kalia early is pretty key. I've definitely lost runs just because I needed a specific unit and just did not draw it in time. Because my deck was too gooped up. Alright, let's see. Kind of expensive hand, but at least I have 4 mana. This guy's annoying because he gains armor when you cast spells. Don't like that. Maybe I just let this floor happen how it's going to happen, and worry about healing later. I don't even have a good heal in hand, so like I could Guardian's Amulet to reduce the damage it takes. Yeah, it's probably worth it, even though I'm giving armor to the other unit. But then What I really want to do is get Frostbite going on the boss. Because as we've seen in past runs, frostbiting bosses is extremely, extremely strong. Alright, getting rid of those Alabaster Guardians is really good. Getting Frostbite going on an Alabaster Guardian is good. Now I can start actually using my multitudinous powerful direct damage spells. This is the good Train Steward, which is worth remembering, even though, because it's expensive, I'm probably not playing it this turn. Probably just rather play a shitty one and have extra mana for other stuff. Yeah, like I can just kill that guy. And what I'm hoping is to draw a heal spell for this that is not Spreading Spores, because I'm still not ready to start casting this left and right. I think next battle it'll start being time. I guess with luck I can draw a 0-cost heal spell. Okay, not that much luck. It's fine. We're still getting a big hit in on the boss, which is good. That final Alabaster Guardian is going to be dead to Frostbite before too long, so... Alright, cool. Some heal spells, and we don't have a incant guy down here to really punish us for playing them. So that's awesome. Definitely want a Titan's Tooth down here to hit the boss in the crossfire, which will mean that that's like the end of our plays for this turn, but that's fine. Again, getting a lot of Frostbite on the boss is just so insanely good for us. Alright, what we got? Ooh, Guardian's Amulet for 1 is very good. Probably just using that here. Yeah, I think that's the way. Because even though it drains this, it drains it for less than it saves from not taking the damage. Alright, let's see. We could also Glimmer. Is that good? I don't know if that's especially good. Here. Probably what we're supposed to do is just get some big damage output. Glimmer brings the Sentient up to nearly full health. Don't really want to restore that because it just makes it go further down. So probably what I'm going to do is sharpen up here to add some rage, restore to add some more rage. If we can keep this train going, we might actually let it save some rage for when the boss gets up there. I guess it is facing an enemy next turn, so that's somewhat relevant. Yeah, the one problem with having Offering Monument out in front is that, like, you can't heal it super effectively because it just loses health every time it would otherwise be healed. If I can get rid of this, then I can Bramble Lash for... Wait, what? I'm confused. 10x the amount of spikes on friendly units. Oh, it's based on which floor it's on. That's very strange. But okay, I guess. I guess that's a reason to focus spikes on the champion as well, huh? So yeah, we can just kabloodle that. That's a technical term, kabloodle. Aw, Teddy friended me on Steam. Now I will see their battles. Yeah, so I probably want to focused growth. Basically always want to focused growth because it gives so many cards. I don't know if you've heard about this concept, James, but there's this thing that people like to call card advantage in games that is apparently pretty good, or so they tell me. Alright, getting a lot of damage in on this boss before the boss rush even starts is pretty good. Alright, is this it? No, it's not quite it. Well, another... Oh, actually, what we're supposed to do here almost... Well, do we have the damage for it? What I want to do is kill this guy and then Bramble Lash the boss. Let's see. 80 plus 18 is 98, and it has 95 health. Great, perfect. Wait, what's its trigger? Triggers when something dies. Doesn't matter. Blammo. And cool 255 damage to the boss. Yeah, we're drawing so many cards this game that even like bad Snecko rolls aren't the worst for us. All right, how dead is it just off the bat? 454? We can do better than that, I think. Probably just focusing on applying as much frostbite as humanly possible is the way to go. All right. Seems reasonable. I love the moans on this character. All of them just sound like she's either dying or orgasming or both. And she's dead to, what, 3 frostbites at this point, regardless of anything else? Oh, only 95 damage. Oh, actually, I can increase that by sharpening, huh? That's right. Yeah, okay. I can just kill her without her even getting an attack in. That's pretty sweet. Deck seems good. Knock on wood. Whoa, I've never seen this card before. That's rad. I don't think it's actually good here, but it's rad. This card is cool because it's for the duration of the battle. You get it off a few times early and your cards are just always great. It's not super relevant here because it's less than a third of the damage every card deals by default. But, you know, in another world. Alright, I do think we really want the pips. Because we have... Yeah. Oh, we do have 4 pips. Now I'm confused. Oh, right, because 5 is the default. I'm just being dumb. Yeah, we want pips. We would love to recruit another unit at some point. Yeah, you're right. You're right, and I'm dumb. Okay, we're going this way. We're finally forging our spells to gain new powers. Should have done this ages ago. Actually, here, let me get the cash first. Okay, 10 magic power. Seems a little bit silly at this point, given how strong our spells are already, but... It's probably Titan's Tooth, right? It's Titan's Tooth or Helical Crystals because they get just more, at the end of the day, more rate on the thing they do. Emberstone is just worthless to us. Yeah. Yeah, Emberstone is absolutely garbage. Which is funny because it's usually one of the best available options. Ooh, Keepstone I do like. What are we keepstoning? Is it just Titan's Tooth? I feel like Titan's Tooth, Bramble Lash, arguably Focused Growth. Holdover is when you cast it, it goes to the top of your deck. It's bonkers. It's probably the most powerful ability in the game, or the most powerful upgrade across any, you know, set of cards. Just making Titan's Tooth better. Okay, I guess if I upgrade it with more power, I don't get to hold it over, but that's probably fine. I could also hold over Focused Growth, which just guarantees me an extra 2 cards. Not every turn, because I might get a bad Snecko roll, but gives me a lot of turns with 2 extra cards, which is very good with Snecko Eye. I mean, whatever the thing is. Yeah, I think I talked myself into Focused Growth. Alright, can't reroll again. Don't really need to purge because we've got free purge right here. What are we even purging? Definitely 1 Train Steward. Is there anything else that is proven just not to be very good? You know what? Kind of feel like the second Sharpen isn't worth it. Given how strong all the rest of our cards are now with the plus whatever. Yeah. Alright. Well, we're taking this because we have the thing that makes spikes good. Although Revenge Draw 1 is good. We actually have a lot of ways to draw extra cards, so I don't think that's actually super necessary. After all that, we didn't enhance our card that duplicates itself at all. So, go figure, I guess. I think our deck is extremely strong. I think there is also absolutely room for us to get fucked over or fuck ourselves over. I fuck myself over a lot in this game. I am not very good at it yet. Okay. This guy sucks. I hate him. Luckily, he just dies to spikes. Probably just want Nameless Siren out. And cool 80 damage. God, our champion is 120 health right now. I love it. I love it so much. Cool. Good draws, please. Expensive draws. Well, this is awkward. I mean, we kind of got to get Cold Kalia active while we can, I think. Which is ultimately fine. Like, whatever. This is sort of a silly use of Titan's Tooth, but it's still valuable, honestly. Is there a world where we just sharpen Cold Kalia? I think there is. 10 is a lot different than, say, well, 20 is a lot different than 12. I was worried for a second, like, oh man, she's kind of taken a lot of damage. Our heal spells are just so strong, it does not matter. Like, we almost de facto have the heal all your units spell. Just because we have so many cheap, incredibly strong heal spells, just randomly. Alright, let's see what we're gonna do. We have to put something here. Yeah, we can, well... Yeah, giving that guy armor is okay. It's not the greatest tank in the world, I will say that. This guy's just so expensive right now. Yeah, alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this guy here. We are going to... Focused Growth that, even though we're wasting a lot of potentially good heal, just because we want to draw as many cards as we can next turn. We're going to Glimmer to restore some of our champion's health, and then we're going to Helical Crystallis because we can. And we can just heal up the Train Steward next turn. I mean, hopefully we will draw a little bit better. Yeah, okay, this is definitely a lot better. All right, Nameless Siren, obviously gotta go there. Focused Growth costs 2 again, which is great. We will put it on this Deuterino. Not a lot that costs 0. Well, actually we have a Restore that costs 0, which is excellent. Just Bramble Lash 2. Absolutely fuck over that guy. If we can get a random Bramble Lash in on the final boss, even just once, it'll make a huge difference, which is a great feeling. Yeah, I kind of like sharpening this. Given that Bramble Lash like counts all spikes but only on a given floor, I feel like sharpening Cold Kalia is just really good. And then we can heal, I guess, our champion. I feel like it's so easy to fuck yourself over in deck builders, James. Like, they're just like snowball mechanics, the genre. So like small initial decisions can drastically affect your later prospects. Wow, this is a bonkers hand. Do we have any units in hand? No. But Bramble Lash costs 0, so you won't catch me complaining. I mean, we'll have to kill this, but whatever. Just toss a... Actually, do we even want to Flash Freeze? We should just Glimmer. Bammo. Flawless. Restore there. I guess Focused Growth here kind of doesn't even, like, matter. Obviously, Bramble Lash for Wildly Lethal. Flash Freeze for a bunch. Bunch more. I was probably actually supposed to sharpen there. Well, it's dead now anyway, so. Oh, boss next turn. All right, here it comes. All right, I feel like we just want more tank on the first floor at this point. Yeah. And we can put this on the second floor. I guess that uses up our focused growth, but whatever. Play a few random spells here to charge up. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the Spreading Spores finally. First duplication of the game. This Dwingus, 719. Not bad, not bad. What does that do with 8 more Flash Freeze? Oh, right, and we draw a card each time. All right, we can't spend more mana because almost certainly it's going to be worse than Bramble Lash for 535. Yeah. Oh, and that's it. That kills him. Love it. You do love to see it. Oh, this is the guy who gets bigger every time he gets hurt. That's right. Well, again, Frostbite just really outraces that. Oh, double Frostbite. Such a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, yeah, it's... The way combat is set up definitely encourages you to have that... When I play Slay the Spire, I really mostly do go glass cannons all the time. That's partly a weakness in my own skill at the game. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that draw 3 card. That was dumb. I forgot that it doesn't always cost 0. Like, I just don't know how to draft around the, oh boy, which way do we go? I don't actually know. I don't know how to draft around the Slay the Spire defensive cards very well. We still don't really have anything to, Merchant of Steel, right? So we just have to go this direction, even though I don't even know what we're duplicating right now. Let's see what artifacts are available first. Oh, come on, man. Oh, Split Anvil is one of the most broken artifacts in the game. This artifact is so dumb, and it's so good in our deck. So we'll be taking it, in case that wasn't clear. Yeah. Split Anvil in general is ridiculous. We had that in our first winning deck, and it's just so nasty. Just really gross. Root Split Mask is okay, but this doesn't seem like the deck for it, really. Oh man, we can give something else holdover? Okay. I think I will, yes, thank you. I don't think we want a Search Stone. So in that case, I'm going to go reroll artifacts, see if I get anything really busto. Tempered Talisman's not the worst. I mean, I know it's a pittance compared to Frozen Nostalgia, but man, it's not terrible. Yeah. We're doing that. And then... So this is the final boss. So we might as well sort of do whatever. I guess reroll, see if we hit anything good. Nope. We're duplicating Bramble Lash for obvious reasons. Cool. I mean, removing half of buff stacks does make Bramble Lash worse because it removes a bunch of my spikes. In fact, it is possible I should have thought about that. We'll see how this goes. Probably fine. Alright, this guy's just annoying. Not that big a deal. Chili Celia, as I like to call her. We really can just play out our entire hand. I guess except for this Glimmer, but whatever. It's not a real card. Could have done that on floor 1 to save a bunch of damage, but getting Frost on the boss, I think, is just a lot more important. Oh, right, and Glimmer costs 0 because of my stupid Anvil card, which is broken in half. What a good game. What a really stupid good game. So she does debuff her, she does remove half of her Frostbite, which does suck, but it's okay, we can live with that. So I probably want this down here first. And, as they say, foremost. Slightly awkward. Why is this taking damage? Oh, it's this asshole. This is my least favorite enemy in the game. Ember Drain is the worst ability. I mean, you can read it. At the start of your turn, you lose a mana for every stack of Ember Drain. And it does decrease, but this guy is sweep, so it'll apply it to every everything on the floor. So I think we basically have to Helical Crystallis. Oh, right! And it makes all our spells free! So it's kind of not a decision point anymore. God damn. What a dumb game. Alright, we are flash freezing the boss. And invigorating a solution. Okay, yeah, and this is where Bramble Lash starts to be worse because we are because our spikes are going down. Like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world by any means, but it's certainly not great either. Luckily, we get a bunch of free spells, so that's nice. Oh, and Spreading Spores. Now that Spreading Spores is, like, fully active. Thank you. Yeah, I am a dumbass and will forget that, so your reminders are highly appreciated. Spreading Spores will help make Bramble Lash continue to be excellent. Do we need to focused growth anything? I guess. Sure. Just draws me a random card. But that's fine. Ooh, is Helical Crystallis... I guess it doesn't actually kill anything. So I'm supposed to Bramble Lash, Flash Freeze, Crystallis here. Yeah, even with the removal of buffs and debuffs, if we don't win this fairly easily, I'm going to be pretty surprised. I guess worst case, Bramble Lash does still deal 18 damage. Really want this thing dead, which I guess Bramble Lash just easily accomplishes. Alright, cool. I'm going to cast 0 spells on this floor so I can draw into other things that potentially might get made free. 0 cost spells, that is to say. I mean, I don't want to spend... Yeah, no, I'm keeping Anvil in mind, but remember, if I cast a spell on this floor... Offering Monument draws me cards, so there's, like, a trade-off. Alright, now I'm going to do that. Kaslamo. Yeah, Offering Monument's probably just going to die at some point, and that's probably just going to have to be okay. Just because... I'm going to want to play spells on this floor to damage the Seraph, and that's going to debuff the Offering Monument, but... Yeah, it's unfortunate that way. I mean, I'm sure very intentional, but unfortunate for me personally right now. Oh no, Spreading Spores goes on the bottom floor. If I get really lucky, this could be the battle where I actually kill the boss before it fully procs, which would be pretty sweet. Never done that before. Alright, this is... Well, yeah, I probably just want to do boss damage here. I don't think I'm drawing any cards this turn, so I will make everything free. I mean, drawing any cards off of the thing that specifically draws me cards, not just in general. Obviously, I have drawn many, many cards. Yeah, this is like half of the Seraph's health, I think, at this point. I mean, I think it's gonna go full aggro pretty soon. Oh, my Spikesies. It's not quite half, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see. Yeah. Nothing to do but cast a 3-cost spell, I guess, to begin this. This is unfortunate. I can't actually hold over both Bramble Lashes and Focused Growth right now. I'm going to do Focused Growth because drawing cards is more important than anything, but... because the one downside of Anvil is that it doesn't free, it doesn't make all of your cards, or it doesn't make cards with the same cost free. So Bramble Lash and Focused Growth both cost 3 that turn, and I only had 4 mana. So I could only cast one of them, and Holdover only works if you actually cast the spell. So this Bramble Lash will get shuffled back in rather than going on top of my library. Yeah. So instead of just drawing 2 every turn, I'm just going to draw 1 every turn until I naturally redraw it. It's really not a big deal, but nevertheless, it makes me feel sad. Wow, a unit survives the first floor for the first time in a while. I'm just going to put this on here to increase his regen stack. Alright, cool. Focus Growth is 2, Bramble Lash is 2. Or Focus Growth is 0, Bramble Lash is 2. All very awesome. Let's... I'm wondering if it's going to do more damage to... Let's see, if I Glimmer here, I still can't kill the Gilded Wing right off the bat, so... Oh, it's interesting that the Anvil trigger resolves after the card draw trigger. That is potentially quite relevant. So yeah, I'll just Flash Freeze that bastard. It doesn't quite kill it. Annoying. Anything need healing? No. Nope, everything's perfect. I suppose I should generally cast Spreading Spores before I cast Bramble Lash, although in that case it just one-shot the enemies either way, so it didn't matter. Alright, here we go. The time is now. The battle is real. The enemy is taking 603 damage points. Okay. Unfortunate that Bramble Lash and Flash Freeze cost the same amount. Also unfortunate that I have to cast Bramble Lash first, but I'm still gonna do it. And then Titan's Tooth is easy, and Glimmer is easy, and I get off an additional Bramble Lash here. Oh, actually, wait. Spreading Spores first. It's a lot of extra damage. Oh, and wiping Seraph on floor 1. I'm not 100% sure I've ever wiped Seraph on floor 1, so I'm pretty proud of this. Just doing that to stunt on him. My champion has so much regen, it's almost full healing after every attack. It's great. All right. Yeah, that was kind of easy peasy. Well, I'm sad Liz wasn't here to see this because she loves Frozen. But my prediction at the end of the last run that whenever we got like the Frozen run, it would be sick as hell was correct. Also, just proccing Anvil randomly at the end of the run with a deck that is just truly obscene with Anvil is the luckiest thing imaginable, and I should not be rewarded for my bad play that way. Oh, whoa! Look at that! That's so cool. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, one thing about this game relative to Slay the Spire also, I think, is that it just tends to be a little bit more powerful. Everything going on tends to be more powerful. Just a little bit easier to cheat on mana, a little bit easier to get like powerful recurring card advantage. The enemies are harder in a sense. I think part of that is because there's a lot less that happens permanently between battles. Like, you don't have your own health that persists across battles that you have to conserve the same way you do in Slay the Spire. Like, you have your pyre health, but most battles that doesn't get hurt. Whereas in Slay the Spire, most battles you are taking damage. So there's like a little bit more flexibility for the enemies to be more powerful and for your deck to be more powerful in response. Oh, this owns. I can't wait to enhance this with it doesn't consume anymore. Just make my whole deck cost 0. One day I'm going to like do proper Storm in this game. It's so hard because most of the cantrips are delayed cantrips. So, like, you can't quite get that real looping bullshit going. But, it's, like, theoretically possible.